Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. I'm coming to you again from the road, hence this strange background. Maybe someone can guess where I am. I don't know how off of just a picture, but who knows? Maybe someone's been standing here before. If so, you can put your guesses in the comments below. But this week, I've been looking at conjunctions in the Bible and what they have to say about God. Skip McBride suggested I use unless today, which I thought was a great idea. Now, some of you may have grown up with Schoolhouse Rock, or your children or even grandchildren may have, and you may remember that song, Conjunction Junction. Conjunction Junction, what's your function? And it's hooking up words and phrases and clauses, and that's what conjunctions do. So if we look at the conjunction unless, I'm going to look at it from an Old Testament passage. Now, the Hebrew for this conjunction is actually kind of two. It's got the if is im in the Hebrew, and then lo is not. So it's im lo, if not. In Greek, you don't have that. You've just got in, which means unless. But if not, unless. And I'm going to use Psalm 127. So Psalm 127, great passage, great life lesson, great video thought for the day. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. It's vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of worried toil or anxious toil, for God gives to his beloved sleep. Now let's unpack this for a moment. Unless the Lord builds the house, if God's not building the house. Now, you may say, well, I live in an apartment or a condo, or I'm not building a house. I already have a house. That's not what's being talked about here. What's being talked about is something that's very personal. And a house is your life. It's your family. It's your friendships. It's your career. Unless God is responsible for building it, if you don't build your life with God, then you're building it in vain. Remember the story about the 3 little pigs? Their building materials mattered a lot. The one who built his house out of straw, the big bad wolf, huffs and puffs and blows the house down. The one who builds his house out of sticks, huff and puff, blows it down. The one who built out of brick, huff and puff, it goes nowhere. If God is your building material for your house, it's more secure than bricks to a little pig. But if not, it's not going to stand up. And the psalmist continues, unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. You can have a burglar alarm in your house. But if God's not watching over your house, that's just going to tell you when the trouble comes. It's not going to stop the trouble from coming. We want to build our lives. We want to build our houses. We want to build our careers, our families on God. When we take into it, what does that mean to build on God? It means to lean on him, to look to him, to find his wisdom, to find his counsel, to find his direction, to implore his help and his aid, to seek a devoted life where your compass points not due north, but points due God. And let that drive you. Let that motivate you. Let that compel you. And if you don't know how to do it, explore it more. But I'm telling you, if you do that, then the psalmist says that you don't need to get up early worried about what's going to happen, or go to bed unable to sleep late because of what's going to happen. You don't have to be sweating it all day, because God's going to take care of you. He'll even give you good sleep. It's a tremendous thought. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain. We come back to conjunction junction tomorrow, but that's your video thought for today.